Hello, witches. Welcome to our Friday here at Bright and Dark Resource Center. I'm Ocean, and I will be your host today for the live divination ceremony. It has been a week. How is everyone holding up? This has been the first week of the Lionsgate portal. So this weekend we're heading into the peak on 8/8. And we will be, good morning. We will be, good morning. Definitely feeling it this weekend. So I'm really excited to see what comes up today as I'm exhausted too. I'm really excited to see what comes up today as we're preparing for that. And after the 8th, we'll be in this sort of portal for about another week leading up to the new moon on August 12th, which will also be in Leo. So there's a lot of fire, a lot of movement towards whatever you are manifesting based on what you released on the full moon. That's what I would look at. So I wonder, maybe take a second, look back. What did you release on the full moon? Because that's going to tell you what you're creating space for. And it gives you this sort of like natural ebb and flow to the moon cycle, right? So you release on the full moon, and it I feel like the first or the last quarter, which we just went through yesterday, is sort of a check-in point where it's like how are you embodying what you released on the full moon? And then you get to the new moon, right? And if you have created that space, right, you're calling into that space what you created the space for. And then we go to the first quarter moon, and it's asking, how has your life changed since you called that in? Like, how has your trajectory changed? How has your experience changed? Notice what is uh what is or would be different if you had that thing, like, uh instantly pop into your life. At least that's how I'm approaching it so far. I feel like everything in magic is it's a theory until you put it into practice, right? And then you get to see how it works for you. So, hi, welcome. Oh, my period started too. So, it seems like a lot of us are bleeding during this portal. So, I would definitely pay attention to that, and what that means for you as well. Yeah, flip the script immediately. Absolutely. Yeah. I've been getting that this whole year, which, we've been talking a lot about flipping tables, right, in our conversations. I've gotten the feeling from, like, when I was first feeling into this year last uh December. I held a new moon ritual in December that I was, like, feeling into the next year, and, like, I was what the themes might be, what I might want to pay attention to. And I got that, like, it's upside down. Like, whatever you're looking at, turn it upside down, and, like, it'll give you a different perspective on it. Hello, welcome. All right. I think I've wasted enough time for everyone to get here, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. I forgot I have a second light now, so we'll see if that gives me a little bit better lighting. Okay, so everybody have what you need nearby? I know I do. I, like, double checked that this time. So we're going to go ahead, and if you need to, like, stim, if you need to stretch, whatever helps you, come be present within your body. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths. So, good morning, body. Kind of just woke up and jumped right into it. Super fun being the West Coast representative for the resource center. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. And I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. And I humbly invite all that is water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I beckon to this system. May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and both the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space. For our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. Now, our declaration of intention. We are letting everyone know why we called them here today. We usually do this as a call and repeat. If you'd like to repeat after me, you can. I'll give space for it. You don't have to. If you'd like to set your own intention, it can be something as simple as, my name is Ocean and I am here. Obviously, you'll say your own name. If you do choose to repeat after me, I would recommend feeling into where you feel it in your body when you say these words and what do they mean to you. Where you don't, magic isn't as effective when you just go through the motions. It's a lot more effective when you awkwardly and clumsily, authentically feel into the truth of what you're saying and what you're doing and what it means for you. So it's okay to be a mess. It's actually a lot more magical to be a mess than it is to be perfectly put together. Well, I won't say that comparatively, but it's definitely worth considering the magic in the mess. So we are Ocean. I mean, you can be if you want to be, but it's going to be a lot more effective if you're you and I'm Ocean. But, you know, we can talk about oneness in another conversation because I know that's going to take up a whole live. So I choose now, in this moment, to align with my whole self. To pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power. And I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour. Because I am home. All right. Go ahead and grab your decks. You can grab a tarot deck, an oracle deck. If you have a book nearby and you'd like to do bibliomancy, that is also an acceptable way to go about this. We're asking 2 questions today. The first question is, where does our attention need to be in order to bring the most expansion to our relationship with our life and our practice? And the second question will be, what is in shadow that we may be in resistance to or denial of that's blocking our expansion? So that's blocking our ability to see that path to expansion, might be a good way to put it too, if that makes a little more sense for you. There is lots of ways to say the same thing. I think about language like way too deeply sometimes. I'm like, it's astounding that we make noises at each other and it like not only holds meaning for like those sounds that we're making, but it also creates movement. Like we can say something and something else happens because we made a noise. Like things unfold. I know, like I get too deep into it, but these are the things that I think about. So I'm so curious what's going to come up today. So, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion to our relationship with our life and our practice? Where does our attention need to be today? Or where does my attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion to our relationship with our life and our practice? Where does my attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion to my relationship with my life and my practice? All right. So our attention needs to be on the Ace of Swords. Give you a second with that. The Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is breakthroughs, new ideas, success, sharp mind, and clarity. And because we consider the whole card, the reversed of the Ace of Swords is confusion, brutality, chaos, clouded judgment. Oh, I am already getting pinged by this. So I'm going to read it again, and then I'm going to let you guys brew as I'm going through the symbols. So the Ace of Swords is breakthroughs, new ideas, success, sharp mind, clarity. And the reversed is confusion, brutality, chaos, and clouded judgment. The symbols are air. Air is often associated with mental, the mental, cerebral type space. Of course, if you have other connections with it, I would love to hear about it. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, it's a very visionary energy, right? And I think that's really like what I'm picking up on this morning. Good morning. You're never late. A wizard always arrives exactly when she means to, right? So welcome. And I'm glad that you were able to make it. So, and the numerology is 1 and 10. 1, I always think of as alignment. For me, zeros are space. Zeros hold space. And this is just my relationship with numerology. Again, I would love to hear if you have a different association. Please feel free to drop it in the comments. So 1 is the individual, it's the self, it's the starting point, the beginning. I know that 0 is the fool and 1 is the magician, as well. So 10 to me is like that ability to reflect, right, on the full energy. It's the magician holding space. It's the magician reflecting on how far they've come since they took their first step. And I think it's also just considering the individual, right? I think that this is also kind of reminding me of how like self-actualization has to come first. We all came to Bright and Dark looking for community. In fact, a lot of us, even outside of Bright and Dark, we're all looking for and joining communities. And something that we haven't really been taught, and in fact, we've been taught the opposite of, is we have to be of value to the community before we can be held by the community. But self-actualization held through the community is actually the only way that you can be of service to the community. Because if you don't know what your calling is within the community, you will burn out trying to figure it out through service, which is what a lot of us do at work, for instance, right? We like vie for these jobs. You know, we need a well-paying job and we need, you know, the medical benefits. And, you know, once we get one, it's like this, you know, miracle. So, you know, of course this must be in alignment because this fulfills, you know, certain needs that I have, that in a matriarchal world would actually be a community responsibility to take care of the individual while they self-actualize, and then they can step into their role. That felt like a bit of a side quest, but it felt important to talk about. Yeah, you got a whole lot of air up in there. It must be, it must be a lot of fun to be up there, is what like my first thought was, how's the weather up there right now? all the air energy. Sometimes it can feel really horrifying though to kind of have that eagle eye view. So I also want to acknowledge that. So what was pinging me when I was first reading the card is when you have a new idea, when you gain some clarity, when you have a breakthrough and you realize that things are ready to change, how do you handle that? How do you actually approach change once you know? Like a balloon hard as fuck to ground. Yeah. Yeah, I have an Aquarius moon, so I totally get that. I have a lot of resistance to grounding. Because being in my body is like a whole experience as like a highly sensitive person. So I can only really come from my perspective, so I'm going to share that with you guys. So I kind of rationalize this through my astrology because that's how I'm learning to understand myself. So I'm an Aries rising. So this fire energy that's happening right now is actually very familiar to me. And in fact, I'm like not actually in like any sort of emergency situation right now. Like me personally, I'm watching the whole community around me seems to be going through something. And I'm very used to that fire energy. Most of the changes in my life have come through pretty extreme volatile circumstances. And the transformation that I'm going through right now in my personal life is actually like it is setting me on fire for myself. It's like actually the fire is sort of empowering, but I'm not used to that. I'm used to the fire feeling overwhelming and surrounding me and like I'm in a burning building. So this new sort of energy of like the fire is actually like supportive, or it's not as like harmful, and getting the inspiration from this portal that I have, it's very hard to let go of the chaos and uh the changing through fire rather than it's how do I put this? It's very hard to let go of changing through chaos because I'm like leaning into like I've done the work to actually support myself through this, to actually have community support through what I'm about to go through. But my nervous system is like, everything's about to change and everything must be terrible. And like, there has to be chaos. And I'm like, my nervous system is looking for it. And I'm like, everything's fine. We just actually have to ground in what's happening. Because not all changes have to be tower moments. Not all changes are bad. Not all loss is a punishment or something being, not all loss is a loss, right? Sometimes it's creating space for a manifestation. So I still feel like I got a little bit maybe off the subject, but just considering the mental gymnastics that you do whenever things are about to change. What is your response when you get some clarity, or whenever you recognize and have the clarity on what you want to move towards? What do you do right before you start to make moves? Like, what is the mental landscape of perceiving a change or perceiving the unknown? I would even say, like, you know, or like moving towards it, or like right before you do. So hopefully that made sense. I do feel like I did a little bit of mental gymnastics there, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay. So I almost started shuffling again. So 2 blocks. When I read that, Lady Dynamite, I was like, 2 is about relationships. For me, like in numerology, whenever I see a number, I start going into the numerology of it. But change coming in 2 blocks, it's like, I don't know. I would ask, what is your relationship to the blocks, or like, does it have to do with relationships? Like, just from my perspective, but that just, or like Brigadier before that, like a 3-ring fucking circus. You know what 3 is? It's collaboration. And you know what circuses are? They're a collaboration between all of the characters. I don't think they're called characters, but that's what my brain wants to call them right now. Because, you know, like there's, you know, oh no, I did start shuffling. I'm pretty sure I put the right one back. Oh my gosh. That is really weird. Okay. What is in chat? Artists. I like that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I knew there was a different word for it. So, what is in shadow we may be in resistance to or in denial of that is blocking our ability to approach things, approach new ideas, or like follow or, you know, it says success, and I was like, allowing ourselves to have success, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, but success is a whole other shadow work realm than failure. Those are like, I mean, in a weird way, they're kind of the same fear. Anyway, so what is blocking us? I pulled it out just so I wouldn't start shuffling. It is the 5 of Swords. It's the 5 of Swords. It is sneakiness, conflict, defeat, competition, ego. And in the reversed, because it is always about the whole card, past resentment. Sorry, that's one thing. Past resentment, reconciliation, making amends. So, yeah, and I love how they're both swords. I could not have planned that. So we got the 5 of Swords. So, feeling into that, I'm going to read it again just so we have it. 5 of Swords is sneakiness, conflict, defeat, competition, ego. And the reversed is past resentment, reconciliation, making amends. Take a moment to feel into that. So it's also an air card. So it sounds like this is a mental game that we're playing with ourselves. The planet for this one is Venus. The numerology is 5 and 15. So for me, 5 is community, it's family, it's the spirit of the home. 4 is like a structure, right? Like a house, like the 4 walls, but 5 is the spirit. It's the family that inhabits the home. And 15, so 5 and 15 are the numerology. So that the 15 to me is the individual in relation to the community. And I think this is very accurate. You know, for me personally, it's like, integrating into community is always going to bring up like family trauma, and because most of us, our immediate family was our community growing up, but not always. I think that if you want to do something new, if you want to experience something you've never experienced before, you have to do something you've never done before. I think that's a quote by someone. But I've heard it like a whole bunch of times. And it's yeah, I'm just feeling into, it's like self-actualization, the how do I put this? The mentality that you cultivate within yourself is exactly how you're going to interact with relationships, with community, with family. Um, it's interesting that the Five of Swords is blocking the Ace of Swords. So you're maybe one of us, it might be me, is are we trying to okay, so in my shadow work right now, I'm very much a I'm very much deconstructing competition. I it's really interesting when you're in a coven of powerful witches. Are you able to see your own power standing next to those powerful witches? Or do you feel like your ego is what's helping you stand there? Right? I'm going to be so for real with you guys. It's like, I have this really great ability to be brave and courageous and do hard things and, move towards the breakthroughs and, new ideas and try new things and, what's the word? Oh my gosh, there's a word for it. Essentially, like I'm able to confidently do something new or confidently step up and speak in front of the group. But then when I'm actually part of something, as soon as I let myself start to belong, then it becomes this like competitive sort of thing where it's like, if I'm standing next to these great people, do I have to prove that I can be here? Do I have to prove that I can stand here? That yeah, it starts with a C. It does start with a C. I can't freaking remember the word. Y'all are just gonna see me post it in the courtyard, and it's just gonna be a C word. You guys are gonna be like, I know what that's from. It'll be cryptic to everybody else except for those who have watched this. So that'll be really fun. Uh, yeah, yeah. So like yeah, so my ability to stand next to other people, to stand in a powerful coven, does require me to focus on like it's not even what I bring to the group. How many of us actually like are focused on what can I do for other people in order to prove my value? Because that's definitely the shadow work I'm in, is like I have to prove my value in order to stand in this place. If I stop proving my value, what does that mean? Like, and I think that sometimes we actually have to let go in order to understand something better. So like, um, if you're doing something extra at your job, for instance, that makes life like much easier on other people, or that, maybe you think that you're the only one that can do that thing. What would happen if you set it down? Would somebody else pick it up? Is it something that actually needs to be held? Right? And even like in your family, in your community, in the way that you serve other people, is everything that you're holding something that you are excited to be holding? Or does it feel like, I'm the only one who can hold this, and if I set it down, nobody else will pick it up, so I guess I just have to do that? Or is it something you're excited to do that you're like, man, I get to do this thing and it contributes to my community, and are you excited about it? So, or are you conflicted about it, right? The Five of Swords, the conflict. I think it's an inner conflict because these are both air. So this feels like a mental game, right? I don't even think the competition that I feel, or the like ego or jealousy, is about anybody else. Like, that's really what's been coming up for me, is that like this is a mental game that I'm playing with myself. Right. Right. When you, and we talked about this the last time I did a reading. Heather says, oh, there's a feeling of fear of loneliness if one moves ahead, leaving the old measure of success behind. When you have succeeded at something, there's grief. When something is completed, there's the grief of it being done. There's a loss of that being an active thing, right? As soon as something's completed, in a way, it stops. It's kind of dead. I mean, not really, but if you think about death in terms of like something transforming, and or something like forever staying that way, it's like I talk about sealing my art. You know, I could keep working on an art piece forever, but once I seal it, there is some grief in the ending of that project. And so it's not compensating. It's something to do with confidently, that this word is gonna, like, I'm sorry that this is now like a group project, but uh, it's something for doing something confidently, um, like the first time you do it. There's a word for it. Um, so, and the thing about ego deaths is my current theory on this for myself is that when I'm when I've reached a new level of self and I'm going through that ego death, this occurred to me actually just yesterday. I I I have these, that moment of like shifting, that moment where things like kind of wibble wobble between the truth of my past and what I have learned or gained going forward, like when that's kind of like in that shifting point. I am simultaneously the absolute best version of who I used to be, and I am the worst version of who I am becoming, because I am the first iteration of that, and I am the last iteration of who I used to be. And that gives me a little bit of grace. It gives me a little bit of a like kind of foot in the door of like, I'm sorry, I said foot in the door. I'm like, yeah, it's like my past is like trying to like, you know, it's scared and trying to slam the door, and I put my foot in the door so that I have the access to like keep going forward. But, you know, if my old self is trying to slam the door, that's definitely going to hurt my foot, right? It's going to literally affect my stability. Let me put the cards up just so you guys have them. Yeah, ego deaths are very hard. Absolutely. Just feeling into if there's anything else. Yeah. So I am really excited. I will be here again tomorrow for the 8/8 portal. I think that who else feels like they're moving towards their well, who else feels like they're in self-actualization? Yep. You're in on the first step. You have to prove yourself. I would say you have to prove yourself to yourself. Like, I think that's an important little add-on to that. They said you're on the first step and now you have to prove yourself. I would ask, for me, I would ask myself, like, now that you're noticing this, how are you going to embody uh, what you want to do going forward? And I would also say to have some grace and compassion for the part of you that's like scared and resisting the change. The part of you that the ego, because we talk about ego death as if it's the ego going away and dying, but death is a transformation. Death is not an ending. It's a transformation and a ending and a beginning all at once. That's what a transformation kind of means anyway. So it's a breakthrough. If it's going to feel like an ego death, but how can I see it as a breakthrough? Yeah. Everything is on fire, both metaphorically and literally right now. We're in the year of the fire horse. We are in Leo season. We are in the Lionsgate portal, and we're about to have a Leo new moon. And it's really fun too, because I knew this was going to be the year of the fire horse, and I was like, I'm going to focus on fire as my element this year. And I'm really glad I did, because if I was focusing on anything else, I would have a lot of resistance to this. And there's something about just letting the fire carry me. Every time I say that too, and I was talking about at the beginning of this, I was like, man, it's like wearing a jetpack. When you're harnessing the fire, it's like wearing a jetpack. Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. Everything's fine. It definitely feels like that dog in the burning house, right? Um Sometimes I don't know. I hate to say anything, because I know a lot of us are going through such a hard time right now. And I want to be the person that says, like, the ashes are like nutrients for like the forest regrowing and stuff, but it's like sometimes it's just hard. And I think we should let ourselves, because we can play the mental game, right? Like with these cards as much as we need to. But you get to choose the story you're telling yourself, but that doesn't mean it's not going to feel the way that it feels, right? I can tell myself that I'm headed towards an amazing future, but that doesn't erase the heaviness I'm feeling, the grief I'm feeling from all of the insecurity that I was acting from before, right? That, you know, uh, that kind of creates it's like the perfect environment for that sort of conflict and defeat and, you know, um, avoidance, because it's like avoidance of self, right? Like conflict, competition, those are like avoidance. When Because it's still playing the mental game. So, yeah. Yeah, it is hard to see. And that's why, like, I say this to myself too, so please don't think I am perfect, but that's why having a routine is so freaking important, because it anchors you when everything else is in chaos. Okay? Uh, when my life was falling apart about like 6 years ago, the only thing that kept me going was I would wake up in the morning, I would get ready, I would brush my teeth, even if I was doing nothing that day, but like laying in bed, like having an existential crisis about whatever I was going to do next, my body was still taken care of. I still was like, making sure to eat, even if I was like feeling completely dissociated. I was like, these are the things that um, I have to do as a human being, right? I gotta take care of my body and be present, be present with my body. Yeah. I think that's it. I keep talking because I swear I could just ramble forever, but yeah. So, I don't know. How can you love your ego today? I think is the question that I would leave off on. How can you love the part of you that's difficult, that's that critical voice in your head, that judgment, because they're the part of you that is resistant to new ideas, to success, to having clarity, because they're afraid of it being like it used to be. All I know I talk about this a lot, but all your mind can do is tell stories, right? Memories are stories that we tell ourselves about what happened and about what it means to us. Uh, yeah, the Burning Man walking meme. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love these. I'm gonna start a thread, I think, in the app, and I'm just gonna be like, I need your best fire memes because, you know, yeah. Um, so recognize when you're playing the mental game. And then how can you be compassionate with that part of yourself that is freaking the fuck out? Oh shit. Well, I'm wow, I did not realize I'd been talking for almost an hour, but they say if you're going to curse, you got to wait at least 45 minutes. So at least I hit that mark. I try not to because it's YouTube, but I literally don't filter myself anywhere else. So this is like that is also a mental game that I play. Yeah, beep. Yeah, I'm sure that'll get yeah, can you start with a shower? That's I know, dude. Sometimes I'm wigging out. I'm like, I gotta figure my whole life out. And then and I'll be ranting to Ian about it, and Ian will just be like, do you need to like take a shower and like calm your nervous system down? And I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably just regulate. How often? I'm not though, because I need reminders. And I say these things. Please know that I say these things. This whole reading is me talking about myself and hoping that you relate to what I'm going through. And it's really cool that you guys do relate. I don't think I know anything about you guys or the collective that any of you don't like have access to or know. I do think that what I've been practicing though, uh for the past 5 years is deconstruction of interpretation. So I'm interpreting these cards and then I'm deconstructing them so that we can talk about a larger concept than me just digging directly into my ego story about it. Thank you. I don't think it's possible to do a reading and for it to not be personal. Every single time now that I see somebody doing readings or that you know, anybody is even like trying to interpret anything, I kind of keep in the back of my head, this person is talking about themselves. How am I relating to it? And what story am I telling myself based on the information that they're sharing about themselves? Because I think it's an important step in reclaiming your sovereignty to recognize that no one else knows you better than yourself. No one else knows you better than yourself. Your doctor doesn't know you better than yourself. Your therapist doesn't know you better than yourself. The point, though, is gathering perspectives, right? And trying them on, at least for me. For me, talking to other people means I get to try on perspectives, like coats at a thrift store. And, maybe the coat doesn't fit, but I love the fabric, so I'm going to take it apart and make it into something else. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's the cards today. We got the Ace of Cups and the Five of Swords. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the Ace of Swords and the Five of Cups. I mean, wow. Ace of Swords and Five of Swords. I just noticed that. That's fun. Absolutely. Right? I love that so much, Heather. They said when you were a little hard seed hiding in the ground, but the safety of the shell has been exchanged for the glorious vulnerability of beautiful leaves under the sun and wind. And I just planted some seeds when I got back to Weirdbrook. Yeah. Yeah. That's so accurate, Heather. I so appreciate you and your insight. Sorry, I know I keep having phone notifications go off that you guys can probably hear. I normally turn my phone off and I totally forgot to today. I mean, not off, but like the notifications, and I totally forgot to today. But yep, sharing your experience for tangibility is not the same as forcing beliefs onto others. Perspective 100. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I like to think of it as we're all just kind of exchanging theories because you can't really know for sure. Even if you've experienced something, it might not unfold the same way, the same like that you've experienced before. And that's what I'm recognizing too, right? You feel a certain feeling signature, and then all of a sudden your brain wants to go into the story of this is how it's going to unfold based on how it happened before. And then you get to choose how you participate. And so if you're participating from the fear of, oh God, this is going to happen the same way before, so I'm going to prevent it by doing this, you're acting in fear and you're actually moving towards what you don't want to happen. Whereas if you decide, okay, these are different people, this is a different time, I'm a different person, so this might be a different I don't have to interact with this as if I am preventing anything. What do I want to happen? What do I want to happen? Yes, I am a Pisces sun. I'm an Aries rising and a Pisces sun and an Aquarius moon. So that is the perspective that you're getting today. If that helps suss me out for you. Okay. All right, guys, we went on a little long here today, but I'm really glad that we got to rant together and prepare for the Lionsgate portal tomorrow. Tomorrow is a really great day to suss out what you're going to be manifesting for the new moon. It's a really, really great day to focus on yourself and what you're doing for, like, what you're doing next, right? How can you embrace your ego as a valuable part of the team? And if you would like to join the conversation, if you would like to come post a meme about how everything's on fire, the app space is community.brightanddark.org, and we are having conversations in there. We have a really great space that is not curated by an algorithm, where you can share about your magical practice or whatever is going on in your life without fear of it being removed or shadow banned or anything like that. So if you want to come talk about magic, there's that. Why don't we close the space out? And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm really excited for the reading tomorrow. All right. If you'd like to, you can put your hand on your heart. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. This working is now closing, but the magic has just begun. I humbly thank the elements and both the moon and sun. To all who chose to bless this flow, I now sincerely thank you. May our practice be expansive and our course be clear and true. All right. Remember to stay hydrated and go make art. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.